Out here at the river. Wanted to do a video on the jack plate, the Atlas micro jack plate. I did that test video at Lake Cassidy the other day, which didn't go very good, but last weekend we had our trip to the river and I got to run it most of the weekend, and I got some stuff sorted out, and I also put a cavitation plate, Bob's Machine True Tracker cavitation plate. So I've already noticed on the way from the boat ramp up to here that it's already like steering super easy now. So we're gonna try that out today. I'm gonna just do some boat riding. The river is like just under 2 foot, which is very low, and try this jack plate out and see if it's a good thing for the river. All right, that went pretty good. That's about as easy as this boat's ever steered with the tiller handle. All right, I'm out here at the houseboat now. I forgot to pick up our walkway the other day, so wanted to run out here and do that. But here is this cavitation plate, Bob's Machine. Really thick aluminum piece. It's got these big runners down the side, and I can already tell like a big difference in the steering. And it like the torque steer was super bad before. Now, man, it's like no issue at all. So really happy with that. The install wasn't too bad. You just clamp it on here, get it kind of squared up, and then drill your 6 holes. For mine, I had to grind out this area of the anode, and I cut this out too, just for clearance. Other than that, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, so I'm pretty happy with that. So far as running down the river, the boat added a bunch of weight to the front too, but so far it does really good. When you have it just trimmed all the way down on the jack plate and the motor, it kind of does exactly like it used to. But now I can jack the motor up and leave the motor trimmed down and go over some of these logs and still have power, because once you get the motor so far trimmed up, if the prop's basically out of the water, you don't have any power at all. So that's been nice. Haven't got to do a lot of just down the river long runs with it yet. I did one last weekend, but I think I'm going to run down the Morrison if I can figure out why my throttle's kind of acting up, and we'll give that a shot. All right, I'm leaving the houseboat now, and here's one thing I don't like about the jack plate and the float pods. It's like I really have a problem with both of them together, but with the jack plate up, it kind of pushes the water on top of the float pods, so you kind of, it makes for a really weak reverse. if you can see that there. So we're in reverse right now, and we're not going anywhere really. Well, that's also an issue with the float pods. Reversing with the float pods just makes you almost have no control. You're just kind of backing in a circle, if that makes any sense. The way they funnel the water into the boat, so whatever edge is on the outside or the inside, I'm not sure, will kind of catch, and then you're just kind of backing in a circle out of control, which is kind of annoying, but they're still worth it in my opinion. All right, here's a good shallow water test. So we're coming up on the river now. You can see the line, hopefully. See the sandbar right there? Usually I'd have to get out and push across this, so. All right, we did hit. Woo. All right, that's actually really shallow right there. So I think what I'll do now is, you can see how shallow this is, as I'll try, it's deeper like right in the middle there. I'll try to run down and get across this. It's also deeper on this side. This sandbar kind of pokes out. So let me try that now. All right, I'm in the middle of the river now. I got the drone set up down there. As you can see, it's like a foot deep right here. So I'm gonna sneak down this side of the river and try and run down, jack plate up, try and get across this on plane. So that was jack plate all the way up, trimmed all the way down, and the prop didn't blow out like it usually would have. I still, it was still cavitating or whatever, but I still had power. Going upriver, I'm going to cross the sandbar. It's less than a foot deep. Jack plate all the way up, trimmed all the way down. All right, that's freaking awesome. I would have never been able to do that before, so definitely worth all the work and trouble that the jack plate caused. Now it definitely steers better with the cavitation plate, better than it did before I did all this, so that's awesome. And now I can run with the motor jacked all the way up. I'm a little curious now, that was just a straight shot, how it'll do in the corners. So I wonder if it'll, like I come around a corner, maybe it'll blow the prop out. All right, very cool. All right, let me grab the drone and then we'll head downriver. Also, I had a bunch of people comment saying that I didn't have enough weight on the front of the boat, which they're 100% right, but I can't, like realistically can't put any more like weight from the back of the boat on the front. As you can see, the way this boat's set up, it's just a plain deck on the front with this little tiny hole. I mean, like you can see how little it is. So I'm not putting a battery in there or a 16-gallon fuel tank. I set this boat up for our camping trips. So I've got the battery back here, giant 16-gallon fuel cell, so I can run all weekend without having to worry about fuel. And all fits perfect back here, and I don't want to mess that up by trying to squeeze it in up front. The motor down lower, it would just track straight, which is freaking awesome. I wish I would have bought this cavitation plate right off the rip, but I didn't know those were a thing. Appreciate the fella who commented on the last video of the Atlas test plate test. They recommended that, and like on their website, it just lists off all the problems I was having with my jack plate, and it seems to correct in almost every bit of it, except for there's still a little water splash, but that just seems like depends on like what your speed is and stuff, but that's not a big deal. I can definitely tell. All right, see right there? If I would have hit that with the motor, like not jacked all the way up before, that would have stopped me dead in my tracks. So that's pretty cool. I can definitely tell that there's a loss of top speed, like the props kind of cavitating or blowing out a little bit with the jack plate all the way up. But that's perfectly fine with me if I can, because I can, if getting good clear water, I can just jack it down and trim it the way I want and get my speed back. This area of the river from here, probably the next 5 miles, is the roughest part of the river in my opinion. There's sandbars and just logs like this all the way across the river. All right, well, I just came around this corner and seen all these logs, and I decided to slow down, and I did like come off a plane and smash into this sandbar. So I'm gonna have to float past this stuff and then get back on it. This is new. That son of a gun is big. That one used to sit right there. I guess they're upgrading. There was a dude fishing like right in the middle of the river, and I was able to jump up on plane and get across this bad sandbar. Basically, in about 3 boat lengths. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty impressed so far. The handling around the corners and stuff doesn't seem to be an issue at all, so that's good too. We're almost to Morrison Springs. All right, we made it to Morrison Spring Run. I always hear people say they can't find how to get in here. I always look for this big stump sticking out of the water. You can pretty much always see it since it's so tall. And then you just make a ride into here. The water's not super clear coming out of Morrison. Usually it is when the water or the river's this low. Oh, there it goes. Alright, there's Morrison Springs. I'm not going to go too far in there because there's a bunch of people swimming. But just past that ride buoy right there, there's a little bit farther out, there's a little cave you can dive and stuff. It's pretty today. sunk houseboat. Ain't never gonna get that one out. It is buried in the sand. That's crazy. I'm sure they're gonna come back and fix it up though. That's why they didn't sell it before it slipped. All right, I reckon I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm pretty impressed with both the jack plate and the Bob's Machine True Tracker cavitation plate. If you got a big tiller motor like me and you're struggling with the steering, 100% grab that cavitation plate. That's made a huge difference. And the jack plate's pretty cool too. Honestly, it's a little overpriced in my opinion for what it does, but that's just part of it, I guess. But we'll see y'all next time. Appreciate you watching.